Students, today we have to move for the next part in the physics lesson, light. Yes, what is that new part in this lesson? Let us know today about the magnification. Okay, so keep in mind that is the magnification. So what is meant by magnification? The ratio of the height of the image. Magnification is denoted by the letter small m. So the ratio of the height of the image to the height of the object. Okay, the ratio of the height of the image to the height of the object is called the magnification, or in any other word, in other definition for the magnification, that is the ratio of the any one we can use actually, height of the image or height of the object, or the ratio of the image distance to the object distance. The ratio of the image distance to the object distance is called the magnification. Okay, so there will be the separate formula for the mirror and the lens. Actually, the magnification of the mirror is lens is V divided by U. I mean M equals V divided by U. Or the magnification of the mirror is, here it comes, that is the minus. Only one change, it is minus V divided by U. Anyone we can use. If they are giving to solve if they are giving the height of the image and height of the object, just we have to use M equals HI divided by HO. Instead of height, if they are giving the image distance and the object distance, we want to use M equals, in a mirror V divided by U, in a lens minus V divided by U. That you have to concentrate. Okay, so here M refers the magnification, HI refers the height of the image, H4 refers the height of the object, V, I think you know about that is the image distance, and U is the object distance. So here the negative, if you are getting after calculation and everything, the negative value of the magnification, negative value in the sense what, minus 8, minus 3, like that, the negative value of the magnification indicates we can get the nature of the image in this only, the value only. The image is real and inverted. The negative value of the magnification indicates the image is real and inverted. Very important. And the positive value of the magnification, indicate the image is virtual and erect. I already told you what is real and inverted, what is virtual and what is erect. Is it a real means as usual, I mean right side appears to be right and left side appears to be left only, that is called real. Virtual means right appears to be left, left appears to be right, that is a virtual. Inverted means vice versa, I mean inverted image, ulta, so the reverse order image. And erect means straight image, that is called as that is the nature of the image. So if the negative value of the magnification is there, that image is the real and inverted, and the positive value of the magnification indicates the image is virtual and erect. So totally the magnification gives the nature of the image. That thing you have to keep in mind. Next, we have to know about the brief explanation of refraction. What is this? That is the refraction. So what is meant by refraction? I already told you the example and everything. The bending up of white light or light ray from when it is transferred from or moved from rarer media to denser media, that is called refraction. Okay, I mean when the light ray is transferred from rarer media to denser media, so it bends itself, that is called as the refraction. I already show you with the diagram what is refraction is this. This is the glass slab, that is A, B, C, D. So here the white light is traveled and bend it is, then again it moves in the same direction. Yes. Okay. So in this refraction only we can give how we have framed the two laws in the reflection, in the reflection. In the same way, in a refraction also we can give a two law. First law is same as second law of reflection. Keep in mind, first law is same as second law of reflection. What is that second law of reflection? Once you have to recall that. So what is that? The second law of reflection. See, this is called as the incident ray. This is called as incident ray, and this is called as reflected ray. This is called as reflected ray, and this is the normal at the point. I told you already. Yeah, is it? Okay. What that first law of refraction is, this incident ray, reflected ray, and the normal at the point are all lie on the same plane. The incident ray, reflected ray, and the normal at the point are all lie on the same plane. It is the second law of reflection also. But here we don't want to tell reflected, it is the refracted. That is the difference. There we have taken a reflected ray, here we have taken a refracted ray. That difference you want to note down actually. And what second law state, that second law of refraction, that is the ratio of the sine of angle of incidence, and the sine of angle of refraction, sine of angle of incidence and the sine of angle of refraction is constant. So consider this is the angle of incidence and this is the angle of refraction here, right? Is it a angle of incident means the angle between the normal at the point, this is angle between the normal at the point and the incident ray is the angle of incident. Angle between the refracted ray and the normal at the point is called as the refraction. So the angle of refraction. So here sine of the angle of incidence to the sine of the angle of refraction is constant. That is the second law. So what is mean by sine here? Sine is the trigonometric ratio. I think next in this mathematics second part you can learn about this. Okay, I think you will learn about that. So just there are the 6 trigonometric ratios: sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, cosecant theta, secant theta and cot theta. So just we have to get to know about the sine only. So the remaining your maths teacher will explain you. So if you have taken a right angle triangle, consider this is a right angle triangle ABC. Yes, you have to consider this is the angle of I or angle of theta. In trigonometry it's called as theta, or any letter we can use to denote the angle here. So hypotenuse side, in this actually in a right angle, this is the hypotenuse, right? So where the angle is there, that opposite is the opposite side. The remaining side is taken as adjacent side. Keep in mind. So this is the hypotenuse, this is the opposite and this is the adjacent side. Clear? Adjacent. Okay. So what sine I refers here? Sine I nothing but the opposite divided by hypotenuse, sine theta. Always sine theta or sine I, it is refers the opposite divided by hypotenuse. So here we are taken as angle of I there. So another example, if you are taken where the angle as mentioned, that opposite want to take for the opposite. If you are taken angle here, angle R, so that opposite is this is. So this should be considered as opposite now, and this is a hypotenuse and this is a adjacent. Clear? So here also sine R is opposite divided by hypotenuse only, but the value will change. Let us take hypotenuse is 5, adjacent is 3 and the opposite is 4. Okay. So here the value is 4 divided by 5. Which value? The sine I value. Is it according to the formula, opposite divided by hypotenuse. That is the opposite is 4 and the hypotenuse is 5. Here the value is angle of refraction is, so let us take same value here, 3, 5 and 4, right? Is it? So here the value will change, that is the sine R. Sine R equals actually opposite in the sense 3, hypotenuse 5. See, like that will be changed based on angle, okay. So this is the second law. So now you can get to know about the what is sine theta and everything. So second law is the sine of the angle of incidence to the sine of the angle of refraction is constant. That is the second law of refraction. Keep in mind. Okay, first law is same as the second law of reflection, but second law is different here. That is the sine of the angle, the ratio of the sine of the angle of incidence to the sine of the angle of refraction is constant. So let us get to know next definition, that is the refractive index. So what is meant by refractive index? Refractive index is denoted by the Greek letter mu. This is the mu. Get to know that mu it is, not cat sound mu. Greek letter mu. So what is meant by refractive index? The ratio of the speed of the light in rarer media, the ratio of the speed of the light in rarer media to the speed of the light in denser media. I told you already, rarer media in the sense air media. This is the rarer media, right? So denser media means what the media is there inside the slab. This is called as denser media. So how much speed the light ray can travel? The speed of the light ray in rarer media to the speed of the light in a denser media is the refractive index. Keep in mind what is mean by refractive index. The ratio of the speed of the light in rarer media to the speed of the light in denser media is called as the refractive index, is called as the refractive index. And one more thing you have to keep concentrate here, which media refractive index is less, which media refractive index is less, I mean which media is having a lowest refractive index that helps to allow the light ray to pass through easily, and which media is having the more refractive index that not allows the light pass through easily. So that means if the media is having a lowest refractive index, the speed of the light is more. If the media is having a highest refractive index, the speed of the light is less. Want to concentrate on that. Okay, once again I'll repeat you. Which media is having a lowest refractive index, there the speed of the light is high, and if media is having a more refractive index, there the speed of the light is very less. Let us take few example here. Water refractive index. Water refractive index is, that is the 1.23 refractive index values. These are all clear. So 1.23 water refractive index. Then the kerosene refractive index is, that is the 1.47 and 1.44, and turpentine refractive index, turpentine, what painter is used, that is the 1.47. Then diamond, as you know well, right? Diamond refractive index, that is the 2.42. So in this you can assess which media is having a very lowest refractive index, that is water, right? Is it so I mean the speed of the light in water media is very high in the sense more compared to these. Okay, but the speed of the light in a diamond is very less. Okay, that thing you want to understood. Okay, if they are asking what is the refractive index of the water is having 1.23 mu, if they are asking the speed of the light in a water media is more. Okay, and if they are asking what is the meaning of refractive index of the diamond, so 2.42, if they are asking the question, the speed of the light in a diamond is very less. Or maybe they can ask the question like that, in which media the light can pass through easily among these, that is water. If they are not giving, just they are giving these two, then the next lowest is kerosene. So this kerosene, in a kerosene, compared to these two, in a kerosene the light can pass through easily. Like that you want to answer. That thing you have to concentrate. So next we have to go for the lens types, mirror types. We already know that only two types of mirror. One is called the concave mirror and another one is a convex mirror, right? So we have to know about the types of spherical lens or types of lens. So there are the four types of spherical lens. One is called as the plano-concave lens, or shortly known as concave. Plano-concave lens, and plano-convex lens. Third one is double concave lens, and fourth one is double convex lens. So these are the types of lens. I already told you concave lens, plano-concave lens is also known as the diverging lens. Keep in mind, it is also known as diverging. Why I told you? Because the lights are diverged at a one point, light rays, and this is called as the converging, because the light rays are converged in the sense joined at a point. Yes, this is the diagram of concave lens. So what is meant by concave lens or says plano-concave lens? That means a lens which is having a thicker in the edge and thinner at the middle. So this is called as the concave lens. Plano-concave it is, and this is the convex, and this is double concave, and this is double convex. Due to shortage of space I wrote small. Okay, no worry, you can understand. Okay, so the lens which have thicker at the edge, this area is very thicker at the edge, thicker in the sense dappadagirutte, where edge, thicker at the edge and thinner at the middle, this area is very thinner. The lens which have thicker at the edge and thinner at the middle, that is called as the concave lens. Keep in mind. And this opposite, in which lens, this is the thinner, in which lens the thicker at the middle, thicker means dappa, thinner means sanna, thicker at the middle and thinner at the edges are thinner, that is called as the convex lens. The lens which have thinner at the edge and thicker at the middle, okay, that is called as the convex lens. The lens which have thicker at the edge and thinner at the middle, that is called as the concave lens. And double concave, what is mean by double concave and double convex lens? Actually, the lens which have two spherical surface, here we can see the two spherical lens actually. So they are bulging inward. If they are bulging inward, the lens which have a two spherical lens, it is having a two spherical lens, is it a? So if we write one ray here, we can guess this is a one lens, this is a one lens, right? The lens which have a two spherical concave lens but bulged inward, that is called as the double concave lens. That's why two spherical lens it is having, no? So that's why it is called as a double. Even this is also, we can get the double convex lens. The lens which have two spherical convex lens but bulged outward in the sense ಉತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ, ಇದು bulged inward, ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಿದೆ. Okay, bulged inward is called as the double concave lens, but they are having the two spherical convex and two spherical concave lens. That thing you want to concentrate. Okay, the lens which have a two spherical convex lens but bulged outward is called as the double convex lens. Did you understand now? Yes. Next we have to move for the last part, that is the power of lens. Very important this is, and almost based on this there will be the question. Power of lens. What is mean by power of lens? Actually, the reciprocal of the focal length. The reciprocal of the focal length is called the power of lens. The reciprocal, we are taken here reciprocal. Reciprocal in the sense the value comes to the denominator. Keep in mind, the reciprocal of the focal length is called as the power of lens. Its formula P equals 1 by F. And what is the SI unit of power of lens? SI in the sense, I think you know about the system of international unit, that is dioptre. Dioptre. It is denoted by the capital D. Okay. The SI unit of the power of lens is dioptre. So what is meant by 1 dioptre here? 1 dioptre in the sense the reciprocal of the 1 meter of the focal length. So this is focal length. Keep in mind. The reciprocal of the 1 meter of the focal length is called as the 1 dioptre. Okay. So if you are taken meter to the numerator, that's become 1 dioptre equals 1 meter minus 1. I think you know about that. This is the focal length what I wrote to get to know you. Okay. In a bracket. So 1 dioptre equals 1 m minus 1, because plus 1 when it is transferred to the numerator, it's become minus 1. The SI unit of the power of lens is dioptre. What is mean by 1 dioptre? The reciprocal of the 1 meter of the focal length. The reciprocal of the 1 meter of the focal length is called the 1 dioptre. I mean 1D equals 1m minus 1. So here also we can guess that the power of the convex lens always should be positive and the power of the concave lens should be negative. The power of the convex lens, power is positive, the values are, and power of the concave lens is, that is the negative. That thing you have to keep in mind. Power of the convex lens is positive and power of the concave lens is negative. So that's all. Hope you will understand the lesson. The lesson will complete actually. So later how how to show the ray diagram, how they are formed about the in a convex and concave lenses. The diagrams are there in a textbook. You can copy directly how you are copying or you drawn in the mirror like that. Hope you will understand better. This lesson, light lesson was completed. So from tomorrow onwards, from the next day onwards, we have to start the chemistry lessons for you better. Keep ready 1 class books for the chemistry. Hope you will keep ready the chemistry class book, 200-page chemistry class book. You have to keep ready that. Thank you.